Hi, I'm Margot Moss from Midnight Menu Plus One. And before tonight's show, I just wanted to make a few points. If you love radio and you listen to our show and you're interested in sales, please contact me at margot@itsneworleans.com, and I will personally hand your name off to our sales team. Also, if you listen to us on Stitcher or iTunes, please take a moment to rate us. It helps people find our show, and we'd really appreciate it. Also, if you would like to be part owner in the New Orleans to Algiers ferry, check us out at itsneworleans.com or go to our Facebook page and learn how you too can participate in the incredible ownership of the Algiers ferry. Now let's get on with the show.
Welcome to Midnight Menu Plus One. I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss.
We are here at Ted's Frost Top on Claiborne and Calhoun in Uptown New Orleans. And once a week, Margot and I meet here at Ted's, and we invite a member of New Orleans restaurant and food community to join us. And we invite them to bring along a friend, a plus one. And we never know who that plus one's going to be. It could be a colleague, a neighbor, their yard man, could be anybody. But in just a few moments, we're going to find out. We're going to be talking to our very special guest, and we're excited to have with us tonight on Midnight Menu Plus One Ronnie Evans of Blue Oak out of Grits Bar. Very excited. Can't wait to talk to him. But first, I was wondering, Margot, what exciting things did you do this week?
Well, I did some exciting things, but it was not in New Orleans.
That's all right.
I had a great meal in Destin, Florida, at this place called Louie Louie.
That's a great name.
And it is a little restaurant on the main road that is by the same guy who owns Red Bar in Grayton Beach. It's been there a long time. Well, this is they have 5 things on the menu, and it was packed and it was amazing.
What'd you have?
Well, I had crab cakes.
Yum.
And it comes with a house salad, which was like a tomato basil vinaigrette, which I'd never had before. And he was so generous. The owner was so charming and generous. He gave me the recipe for the...
Did you ask for it, or was he just handing it out?
No, I asked for... I played a little... we were trying to figure out what was in the salad. And I got oregano and a few things, so he gave it to me. So right. I thought that was really great, and it was wonderful. So how was your week?
It's good. A few minutes ago, I went to Ba Chi, I think it's called, maybe. It's the new one on Maple. And, I'll tell you, here's the thing about Fo, however we say it, places in New Orleans. I'm getting fed up with them in general. I'm really
wait.
sick of,
Are you gonna bash them?
No, I'm gonna turn this around. You take away the surprise now. Okay.
I'm sorry.
In general, I'm sick of them. Here's what they're like. They're like nail salons in New Orleans. Every time someplace closes, a nail salon opens in its place, right? There have been, I think the number is something like 645 new nail salons in the neighborhood of Uptown. There are more nail salons than there are cars in Uptown. It's unbelievable. And there's more faux or fa places now than there are nail salons. I think there's something like, the stat I counted, something like 4,755 new faux places on Magazine Street alone. Okay. And it's driving me crazy.
Have you eaten at
Wait,
any of
hold
them?
a second. One more thing. The mayor, right? We all know that the mayor and the city council have been cracking down on new bars. It's impossible to open up a new bar or music venue, and they want to shut them all down in New Orleans. Why don't they shut down the nail salons? That would be a start. That could help the culture here. Shut down the nail salons. Okay, just the new ones.
Just the nail salons.
No, the old ones that are already here. I'm not attacking anybody in particular. Just don't let any new ones open, please. Please, no more nail salons. And faux places, too, except Ba Chi. Ba Chi I went to, I was skeptical. What happened was we were going to another place, and we got there, a sushi place that we like very much, Kakoi on Maple, and it's very nice, and they have great happy hour specials for the kids, like half price and all this. We get there, they're closed on Monday. We forgot, so just on a whim, as we're driving down Maple, the first place that was open was this new place that replaced another place we didn't like quite as much. And we go in, and I'm kind of dejected about it. I'm getting so fed up with the fo whatever. It's good. It's just there's too much. So I go in, and I thought it was magnificent. Maybe I was just in the mood for it or whatever. I don't know. But I got a giant bowl. It was like about the size of a good sized salad bowl for like a whole family. That was the size portion, seriously. And I got the rare, what's it called, the rare shank or something like that, and the brisket. And it was like $8. I mean, it was maybe $1 more than a couple of the other places, but it was so good. And then I watched the other table though. What ruined it for me was I was envying the other table. Because the other table was this really cute couple, and they had the short ribs, which are kind of hard to get in New Orleans a lot of times, with a big, delicious looking pile of kimchi. And I was really kind of excited. Anyway, I know it's a long story, but look, I talk fast. I pack 5 times as many words, and I gave like 5 stories at a time. But anyway, I recommend going to that place. I really liked it a lot, and the whole family did. All 4 of us liked it. My son's sandwich was $5.50, and it was huge. It was basically like almost a whole po' boy of like a chicken, kind of Vietnamese po' boy, basically.
Banh mi.
Banh mi, that's it.
So I ate there for lunch today.
Did you like it?
I've eaten there several times. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. They are the family of, it's the son and daughter-in-law of, that has Tan Dinh on the West Bank, which is one of my favorite
There you go. Okay,
places.
so they knew what they were doing. It seemed like they knew what they were doing.
Yes, they have a lot of experience, and they've hipped it up and moved to Maple Street, yeah.
I love Maple Street.
So I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it's not one that you want to shut down, because I love it.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
happy
great.
for it.
Okay. Well, is our guest here yet? All right. Looks like our special guest is here, Margot. The one, the only, Ronnie Evans.
Yes,
How are you?
Hi.
Appreciate y'all having me. It's glad to be here with a cool glass of refreshing root beer, and looking forward to it.
All right. So you're the co-founder of Blue Oak.
Right.
At
It's
Grits Bar. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, sir. It's me and my partner Philip Mosley, and it's kind of like a little permanent barbecue pop-up inside Grits, which is at 530 Lions, just off Chapatoulas, a couple blocks away from Napoleon, and we're coming up on a year now, so it's been pretty good little run at first. So we're just plugging away.
Nice.
What was there before?
Well, originally Grits was just Grits, the bar. Like it's a really divey place. Ray wrote a pretty good little review on it in Urban Spoon, but real hole in the wall place. It used to be a pool hall, and I think actually like a brothel way back in the day. But that's going back way before us.
That's what brought you to that vibe. Brought you into the.
Well, actually, being a young college guy in New Orleans during the summertime, Grits was a late night spot for us to go to. We always knew that they had a restaurant. They actually had a couple third parties come in and kind of do their thing, which they kind of failed, I guess. And we tried to do the same. We've luckily been the most successful one, and just kind of got lucky.
Now, what makes you the most successful one? None of them lasted a year?
Yeah, like I guess the concepts weren't right, or the food they were putting out wasn't that great, and Phil and I are, every time we're serving food, it's either one of us. So whatever we put out, we know we're doing it right. So it's been successful thus far, and we've got some catering going, and we're starting to do lunch now. So we're doing pretty well.
So how does that work? I mean, do you rent the space from the bar at a flat rate, or do you give them a percentage of the sales? Or
basically, the way it goes is we cut them a percentage, and that covers all overhead. So it's kind of a nice safety net for us, so that whenever if it's slow that night, we're all right. We don't have to worry about any rent or insurance. It's all covered. So it's kind of a good way. It's a great way for us to get started and kind of learn the tricks of the trade and figure stuff out. So it's it's been a great learning experience for us thus far, and we're just kind of going along.
So tell us a little bit about what you serve. It's
all
barbecue?
for the most part, it's like more of a barbecue focus. I wouldn't say it's like exclusively barbecue. Kind of our staples, we do smoked wings, burgers, pulled pork, and then we do like some like different stuff. Like we do like shrimp and fish tacos that aren't really like anything related to barbecue, but it's just kind of like to adapt to the bar setting that we're in, just kind of like bar food, I guess. And it's predominantly barbecue, but we kind of try to give it like a little bit of a pub food kind of feel to it. So it's good. I mean, it's a little different, it works out.
And how many years you went to Tulane then?
No, I went to Alabama.
Oh, you went to Alabama. Wait, so what about the college and going there? And
I was saying I'd mentioned that Phil, my partner, went to LSU, and we've been good friends since we're in 5th or 6th grade, like best friends ever since we've basically known each other. And he went to LSU, I went to Alabama, so the LSU-Alabama rivalry is alive and well in the kitchen. And pretty much the entire Grits bar is anti-Alabama, so it's always fun to get some good banter and smack talk going. So it's fun. But that's kind of where I learned how to cook barbecue.
In Alabama?
Right. I worked at a barbecue joint in Alabama, and it's considered like Alabama style, which is pretty much all pork. So it's like pork shoulder and ribs are like the staples of like Alabama barbecue. So basically went there and kind of learned some tricks of the trade and, saw how they do things and, a lot of slow smoke and roasting. And, I think we put out a great product, and it's a little different from what other people around the area are doing. So it's been good.
Great.
So is this your first business of your own?
Yes.
Where you're not working for somebody else?
Yeah, this is the first one we started. Originally, we were looking around, like, desperately trying to find something, maybe something small and easy to where, like, we didn't have to invest a lot of money to start. And Grits, like, somehow kind of fell in our laps, and, we're going.
Now, are you from Alabama, or you grew up
No,
here?
I'm born and raised here. I guess I'm born and raised in New Orleans. I left to go to Alabama and lived there until I graduated. I was graduating in 4 years, which I guess is kind of early now. Everybody's kind of doing the 5-year plan.
Especially at Alabama.
Yeah, there's a lot of partying going on there and a whole lot of football. But lived there for 4 years, and then there's actually the same barbecue restaurant I worked in Tuscaloosa. They have one in Vail. It's called Moe's Original Barbecue, and I had the opportunity to go live up there for a couple of years, and moved up there right after I graduated college. And
did you miss New Orleans?
Oh, absolutely. Vail is an incredible place to visit and to live. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I mean, there's nothing quite like New Orleans. And the thing that was missing most, I think, was the lack of food. The food scene there was kind of weak, so it was a great place, but coming back here to eat the food in New Orleans is like there's nothing quite like it. So
now, is anybody in your family in the food business, or what steered you in that direction?
I've always been like a huge food person. My family is like, I guess we're considered like all foodies, I guess. Like my parents, I grew up really lucky my parents always took us out to like restaurants, and we ate all the time. Like every Sunday we'd go to Crescent City Steakhouse, like
nice
big family style meal, like a bunch of porterhouses and sides, and that like food's always been a huge part of our family. So I mean, it's something that I've always had a passion for, and figured I'd take a swing at it. And it's a tough business, especially in this environment where it's so competitive and there's so much good quality food. But it's something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. So that's kind of why I'm doing it.
Great. And
it's got to be fun being in Grits. You're our first guest we've had that has a pop-up out of a bar.
Oh.
And it's cool that it's one of my favorite bars in the world. I mean, the first time I went in there, there was a guy dressed as like a Viking, and I think it was like a kickball league. And the different captains of the teams were having. It was like the Hall of Justice or something, like one of those superhero movies. They're all sitting around a table and they're all in different costumes and they're like gladiators and Vikings and like whatever.
And it was just a normal day, right?
Yeah,
it
but here's the
wasn't
thing.
like
Then there was a bunch of roller
anything.
girls over in the corner in civilian clothes, and they were just like drinking beers. And then there was like a dart league going on somewhere else. And I was there with some Rolling Elvi who were rehearsing some dance things for the Jailhouse Rockers, and there was a bunch of old men at the bar that were just ignoring it all, And I was like, all right, this is like 18 different bars stuffed into one.
Yeah, like all walks of life.
And then there was a dog in there, and the dog climbed up on top of the picnic table where my friend had her purse and was rifling through her purse looking for mints or something, Little dog.
No, I smell something.
So basically, most of your clients are drunk.
I would
mean, I'm
say,
not saying all those people, but that's
well,
kind of...
Or crazy. Well, no, nothing I said indicates they were drunk, just crazy, right? So.
no, well, late night. There's definitely a late night scene where I'd say majority of the people have had some pretty good amount of booze in them. But
What time do y'all open up?
We usually open up about 6:30. We're 6:30 Monday through Friday, and we usually close about 11. Or Monday through Thursday, we close about 11. And then the late night thing, we would stay open until 4.
On Friday and Saturdays?
Right,
You
Friday
stay
and
open-
Saturday night alone.
So you open 7 days, though?
No, we're closed Sunday. Sunday,
Sunday,
we're closed,
okay.
yeah.
So
and
it's
those-
one of y'all working, you or Phil working every night.
Right.
Except
It's
Sunday.
we always just like
So have
switch.
you become a drunk?
No.
Okay.
Well, being in New Orleans, that's already like in your blood.
Yeah, right.
Necessarily. Not just kidding, but no, we try to boost to as limitedly as possible on the job, but their shots may get poured every now and again, but we don't like to talk about that too much.
Well, it looks like your +1 is here, and I recognize him. Coincidentally, I was just this is David Stitcher, is it not? Unless you have a doppelganger. And
This
I
is
was-
Dave Stitcher.
I was just talking about him 10 minutes
Nope,
before you
it's
got
me.
here, and I said I identified him as one of the 5 most interesting people in the world, and I know the other 4. So I mean, I basically know all the interesting
So-
people in the world, and he's one of
So
them.
you brought one of his top 5. That's impressive.
I
Thank
guess
you.
I'm in good graces right now. Yeah, I brought Dave. We were talking about we wouldn't had a drink at Robert's. I was drinking a soda pop. He was not.
It had soda in it.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yo, introduce him. Tell us what.
Yeah,
what
why'd
brings
you bring
together.
Dave?
Dave is my mystery guest, and for good reason. His wife was a bartender at Grits, so we spent a lot of time together. Dave was always over there on weekends helping her out, and we spent a lot of time together, hanging out and playing darts and watching football. And
It's true. Yeah, she worked during the football season Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm also in a dart league there on Tuesdays, and kickball league on Mondays. So yeah,
Basically, you live at
So I
Grits.
pretty much live there. So you might as
he's
well
got a hammock in the back.
You might as well be friends with the people in the kitchen of your home. So
Yeah,
it worked
right. Because
out.
you don't watch when they're making the food.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't know what they're doing
wanna
to
keep
it.
them. You want to keep them straight. So yeah, their wings, best wings I've ever had in my life, and I've had a
Wow.
lot of wings
Wow.
in my life. I'm kind of a connoisseur.
Is the smoked wings you talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
the smoking is my favorite part. I would have to say. Uh-oh, you all right over there?
Been running
That
around.
sounded painful.
Yeah, she sounded fun.
But yeah, so because the smoking, so they're already cooked because they smoke them, and the frying just puts the crisp on them, and then the sauces that they make are outstanding. And
Like,
Now, do they do buffalo wings? You do straight on traditional buffalo wings?
no,
or
it's they're just smoked. We like brine them, smoke them. Like it's basically we call it par smoking. So it's basically like you cook it to just under being finished, and then the frying finishes them, and
Nice.
so it leaves them a nice crispy skin, and it leaves a great product, and people seem to like it. It's probably one of our top 3 sellers. That and like our smoked burgers. That we do the same kind of concept. We smoke like par smoke them, and then kind of finish them on the grill.
That's kind of interesting. You
And,
smoke the burgers.
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't
who
know
else does
anything
that?
about smoking.
I don't think
What is-
anybody does.
I can't. I don't think I've ever had a smoked burger. Have you?
I've had
Besides
them.
there?
Yeah, they're really good.
I mean, besides there,
Besides there, no.
I've never heard of a smoked burger.
did-
It was new to me too, but it's worth a try.
And
'cause-
do you
wow.
smoke them there? You have a smoker?
Yeah, we do. We used to have
You
a.
built it, or is it like a?
It's a it's basically like just a commercial smoker that we bought. So it's got like a firebox on the bottom, and you basically just feed it wood, and it's got a gas burner to where you set a temperature on it, and if it ranges anywhere out of that temperature range, the fire, like the burner, will kick on, and basically like so you keep a pretty consistent heat. So it's basically like,
how long does it take to smoke a burger?
usually it's about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, all right. So
And it's still pretty
slower
soft,
than,
so
than on the
it's
grill,
basically
huh?
like rare, and we finish it to where it's medium.
So you finish it on the grill then?
Right. Yeah, just like crisp up both sides, and then our house burger is it's called the 44 burger for Super Bowl 44 when the Saints won, and it's barbecue sauce, caramelized onions, and pickles. Really basic, like very simple, but it's really good. And we've got a nice wildflower bun that we use with it from Susan Spicer's Bakery.
Ah.
And it's a really good burger. I mean, that's kind of like, I just thought about it one day. I was like driving to work, like we were just starting, and like I was like, man, let's smoke some burgers, and we did. And people.
Why doesn't
were
everybody
like,
do that? A lot of people have smokers. Why doesn't anybody else smoke a burger?
That is a good
I
question.
don't know. I'm not sure.
It
And
may start tonight.
Now,
they probably
this
will.
might start the trend.
Yeah. This
can
is like
you
a trillion
taste the
burger
wood?
places.
Oh yeah,
Smoke.
Inside
so
the
does
burger?
it matter? Are you?
it's
picky
not
about the
overwhelming, but
wood
you can
use?
tell
Well,
that it was smoked.
We use
Oh.
oak. We usually, like, the saying goes for like any barbecue restaurant is you use what you have available. So whatever's like, so here's oak. There's a lot of oak, so we use it. Like when
Hence the
when
name.
I was in Colorado, they used a lot of I think
blue?
cherry and apple. Yeah, something like that. Or yeah, it's one of those fruit woods. Fruit woods is like more of a mild smoke flavor. Oak is a little stronger.
Huh.
And then hickory is like the farthest end of the spectrum. Or mesquite and then hickory. And so like oak leaves a good smoke flavor, but it's not too overpowering.
Huh.
So it's pretty good. I mean,
And the smoker's in the
Okay.
kitchen, so every now and then when they open it up, like, leaves a nice smell in the bar. It's like
Nice.
makes you hungry.
yeah. Usually, sometimes we'll have the hood going. Sometimes we'll just cut it off and let like the smoke kind of like resonate to the bar, and people will be like,
If people aren't ordering enough burgers,
yeah, people are
Right.
just like, what's going on?
So do you come up and order at a? Is there a window or is it a?
Usually,
How's it
you
work?
just order with the bartenders. We've got like menus placed around
Okay.
the bar, and you just order with the bartender.
So
We
it's a
usually run
kitchen in the
food.
back. We can't see you.
Yeah,
back.
it's in the back a little bit. You know,
Okay.
we can like poke our head out and look out the window every now and again and see who's out there. But for the most part, we're kind of hidden in the back. Every now and again, we'll have like a little dance party in the kitchen. Some friends will come back there, and it'll be like a little pseudo party. But yeah, I mean,
So does Stitcher get his burgers for free?
No,
But the bartenders have to pay for
Next
the
time
burgers,
we'll.
their spouse.
unfortunately, no. I do pay for all my food, but it's worth it.
he is a great patron though.
Yes.
He always comes and orders from us, and we always appreciate it. But
If it wasn't good, I wouldn't do it.
he doesn't force it; it comes naturally.
And it comes natural.
So Dave, besides throwing darts and what are the other things we do there? And kickball.
Kickball
And drinking.
and
And hanging out with your wife. Do you have a day job? What's your day job?
My day job. Well, I'm an archaeologist,
Of course.
but I got to the age where I got too old, basically. Because I mean, you're digging holes every day. You're doing a lot of walking, and that's kind of a young man's job. Plus, I'm married. I didn't like being gone all the time, so now I'm the map maker, so to speak. So I guess I'm an archaeological cartographer. So I sit in an
Wow,
office.
I was
That sounds so
not
cool.
expecting that.
When you
That
look
is
at him, don't you
really
think that?
interesting.
You look at him, you go, there's an archaeological cartographer.
Yeah, well, so it pays the bills, and it has its moments. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm hanging with the Elvi, Lions Carnival Club. That's another thing actually out of Grits. Lions Carnival Club.
Also coincidence. I'm wearing rolling Elvi too. I'm wearing a rolling Elvi T-shirt tonight. First time in the 8-month history of the show or something like that. I've worn rolling Elvi stuff,
Well,
and one walks in as the guest.
I guess
it was just meant to be.
I guess you knew somehow,
somehow.
subconsciously
Yeah,
that I'd be here. So that's
right.
pretty cool.
That's Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
The Elvi Sixth Sense.
that's it. Wait, so the Lions Club also meets there?
Yeah, it's the home base for the Lions Carnival Club.
Wow.
Which
And what is the
uh,
Lions Carnival
The Lions
Club?
Carnival Club. If you're familiar with the Buzzards, who are a marching club on Mardi Gras Day, There used to be a lot more of the. I mean, they're the oldest. They started in like the 1890s.
It's kind of Crew de Vue style stuff a long
Sorta.
time ago, right?
It's essentially every neighborhood in the city had its own marching club, and Mardi Gras Day they'd all get together and march around the city and parade. Lions Club started on Lion Street, which is I think that the original clubhouse is like right across the street, which is now the Veterans of Foreign Wars Hall or something now. Anyway, so every Mardi Gras Day we meet up there at Grits Bar at like 6, 7 in the morning, and we march through the neighborhoods and eventually hit St. Charles and do the whole parade route all the way to the quarter. And it's nice because for all like the shut-ins and like people who can't go out, all the elderly in the neighborhood who can't really get a taste of Mardi Gras on Mardi Gras Day, we kind of bring it to them to their front door.
So are you there the same time that the parades are going on in St. Charles? Or no?
Well, when we started 7, we eventually hit St. Charles about 8 or 9, and we end up waiting on Jackson for Zulu. So once Zulu finishes, we pull in behind them, and then so we're kind of in between Rex and Zulu. So it's us, the Buzzards, and the Corner Club, and we're all kind of meshed together in one big group. We have a bandwagon.
How many of you are there?
Mardi Gras Day is probably about
60?
60, 70 strong. And we have a bandwagon. We have a marching band that marches on the street with us. Traditional, old school, like tunics. Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy it.
A buddy of ours, Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson.
He went. This is his first year. He tried to do the Lions Club thing. He marched with them, and he rides in Toth every year. And he said it was like, bar none, like the best like carnival experience he's had, like being in a parade.
Well, you're on the street with the people. You're not on a float like looking down at them and throwing stuff to them. You're like talking to them and handing them flowers and.
So what's the average age in your group?
Oh, it ranges from, probably our oldest, there's 70s, late 70s, youngest. Some of our banner boys this year were probably in their mid-teens. So, yeah, but, sadly, it's that kind of thing is dying out, we're trying to push hard to get more young kids into it because, another generation it might die out if you don't keep it going, you know?
Right.
So, unfortunately, I don't have kids to provide myself to the club, but, we're doing our best.
Now, how long have you been in the Elvi? You've been since the second year?
I've been there since pretty much the beginning. Me and Macon, who founded it, Macon and Dave, we're all really good friends. Actually, the very first year, didn't have the money to actually get my wheels, but Macon had a 63 Galaxy 500 convertible. So I was essentially Elvis's chauffeur that year. I have this vintage 50s tuxedo with a frilly shirt, had my afro on, and I drove Elvis. And unfortunately, the car overheated because there was some trouble with the parade. It stalled out for a while. Car overheated, so I had to pull it out because it wasn't worth killing his car over, But
was that Muses from the very first year or no?
That was the very first year of Muses, yeah, or the very first year for us riding in Muses. I think it was Muses' maybe second or third year.
Wow.
Speaking of Muses, we have to get to the book of questions, the muse of the show. No, not really, but
this will set the tone for the rest of your life after you read this.
Yes.
Question.
So this is where. Ronnie, you can start. You have to pick a number between 1 and 163, and you must answer the question that you.
Okay.
You can lie
choose.
to us, but you got to answer.
I was thinking 72 or 97.
72. We'll go with your gut, your first number.
Sounds good.
If you could have free, unlimited service for 5 years from an extremely good cook, chauffeur, housekeeper, masseuse, or personal secretary, which would you choose?
Oh, that's a no-brainer, the cook.
You could have a 5-year vacation then.
Yeah, just take over. See you later.
Not a masseuse, so that you
I mean,
that would be my last choice, masseuse.
Okay.
'Cause that's like an hour a day tops. Beyond that,
Yeah,
you're breaking
yeah.
bones, right?
Unlimited service, unlimited.
Yeah, but your body can only take so much massage.
Happy ending.
What if you?
yeah,
Well, what if they're creepy though? I mean,
Well, they're
then,
good but creepy.
well, 5 years of a creepy
it
guy
says
touching you could be
extremely
pretty
good.
weird.
Yeah, but they
Extremely
can be good but creepy.
If you like creepy, it says extremely good. So
Well, it
it's
could be a good
extremely
masseuse, but
whatever you
creepy.
want.
it'd be like Mr. Miyagi, like giving you like world-class massage or something. I'd
Yeah,
probably
creepy good
about
housekeeper
it.
you can put up with. A creepy good cook you can put up with. You don't just stick them in the kitchen. You don't see them.
Yeah.
A creepy good masseuse is like, I don't care if they're good. They're like,
They're
they're creepy
creepy.
and they got their hands all over me.
All right, so you wouldn't pick the masseuse.
That
We
would be
got
my last choice.
I think that's probably last for a lot of people. I would
What were our
think.
other options?
housekeeper, masseuse, chauffeur, personal
I
secretary.
mean, housekeeper, you can only do so much cleaning too.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
clean
but-
can something
I-
be?
I would definitely go house cleaner. 'Cause,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lazy that
So
way.
you eat at Grits, so you don't need a good cook. You
Right.
like a couple
Yeah, I go
nights
for
a
Right.
week.
So we've got that covered.
Personal secretary would be pretty
Did-
cool though.
did
'cause
you
could
just
probably
say
put them
hooker?
to
Your
work
wife,
like 8 hours
hooker?
a day.
Did you say hooker?
I think you said hooker.
I said hook, cook.
You said hooker. Come on. Shame
Is
on
that
you,
a
Ray.
Freudian slip
That's a
there?
Freudian slip. Well, you were saying the
Okay.
happy ending stuff. I wasn't thinking.
All right, Dave, what's your favorite number?
Let's see. What are mine? What's from 1 to what?
163.
Let's go 163.
Okay. If there were a public execution on television, would you watch it?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. I mean, who wouldn't? I
There's
mean,
nothing else good on TV.
I mean, people like watching car wrecks, and that's the only reason why they watch NASCAR. It's kind of the same thing. Now, yes, it's a little creepy, and maybe it would depend on the type of execution. Like if they
Lethal
were,
injection or electrocution? Lethal injection would probably be kind of boring.
What if
They
they're,
just
like,
fall
drawing-
asleep.
Yeah,
if they're like drawn quartering them though, that'd be kind of gruesome,
Ooh.
you know, or like disemboweling or
Jeez. We're getting
beheading.
intense.
That's always kind of
Beheading.
freaky.
I think we have a new reality show.
Yeah, well,
Burned at the stake.
that would be tough to watch.
Well, it depends.
Well, neither one of these
There's
questions
three
were
ways to
hard
burn
to
somebody at the
answer
stake.
for y'all.
Right? The best way. Are we sure you talk about this? No.
What?
You can talk about burning at the
Well,
stake
actually,
if
there's
you'd
one.
like.
There's one burning that
You
fits
have
in.
to smoke them, though.
There's one burning that fits
Before
into the
you burn
conversation
them.
because at some point in in history, I think the Greeks, maybe the Romans, they had this huge bowl that they would put people in and then slowly cook them in it, and like the screams would like resonate out and sound like the bull like making bull noises from a distance. I don't know.
What they got? I mean, they set the whistle, like kind of.
Yeah.
The apparatus, like whatever was the opening was.
You
so
could hear
it
the
was,
people
it was a
screaming
bull
from
tone.
London. Yes.
Screams would be translated into bull
There's
tones.
this big, huge
So
metal
inside
bowl.
they're going, "Oh crap, I'm burning," and it
Yeah.
comes out like, "Arr," whatever.
Exactly. That happened. Well,
See, that's
Supposedly.
why I say you just gotta let them talk.
Have you ever
is the
dug
kind of stuff
up
that comes
a
out.
Greek burn
no,
bowl?
I'm
Is
all
that how
Not in
you-
Greece.
I'm all North American archaeology.
That's
Southeast.
so much more interesting than my 3 kind of burning stories I was going to tell you. Thank
I have
you.
found dead people,
Go
which
ahead,
is never
tell
fun.
us your 3
No,
burning
it'll be
stories.
anticlimactic after that.
Yeah, well, anyway.
I'll tell you after we get off the mic.
So yeah, let's not talk about killing people anymore. That's just a little depressing.
Wow. We should. No, we should not.
So what kind of stuff do you find in the southeast?
Yeah,
What is the most exciting thing
oh,
you've
I always get that question.
discovered?
I hate this question.
Okay, forget
No,
it.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Well,
That you could.
Well, we
I
do
was gonna
contract
make it
archaeology.
nasty.
So, in the 70s, there were federal laws put in place that if there's federal money being moved or being spent to move dirt, essentially, you have to do a cultural impact study. So we do work for like the pipeline companies because they're regulated by the FERC, highway departments, the Army Corps of Engineers, FEMA. I mean, recently we've been surveying pretty much every house in New Orleans recently. But yeah, so
you surveyed mine yet?
yeah, I'm pretty sure we've hit that one already. Anyway, anything that's 50 years old is eligible for the National Register, which is kind of ridiculous. It's
insane.
I think
That's-
we
Why
need
is
to
50
all
move-
New Orleans.
years?
That's
'Cause
just always been the rule, and it made sense, in the 70s when that was 1920.
yeah.
But now that it's like 1973, and like.
So that cinder block piece of crap across the street from me on Henry, that could be the National Historic Register.
Chances are it won't be, but if
I'm applying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you came
I'd
across
approve it if
where
we got a plaque in front of it.
where like Jimmy Carter and his brother were drinking Billy beer in like a peanut field, that could be eligible, I guess, maybe, but I don't know. So anyway, coolest thing I ever found. That's a tough one. Lots of cool pottery, lots of cool tools from. The thing that I like finding, honestly, is tools that were broken that they spent a lot of time on, and you can almost feel the cursing when you find it. You can almost hear it from thousands of years ago. That kind of pushes my buttons. I found this broken addle once.
A broken what?
It's a
Addle?
Oh yeah, before the bow and arrow, they had spears, basically. And to throw the spears, they had this technology called the addle, which is an Aztec word, and it's basically a spear thrower. So it's like a stick about 3 feet long with a hook on it and a weight. And it basically gives you more leverage and more power behind the throw. So you can get the spear going 3 times faster than if you just threw it by hand.
Huh.
So when I was in college, I found one of the weights that had broken, and it was smooth. This thing was like 4,000 years old, greenstone, nice and polished. And to drill the hole in it is basically stick, sand, water, and time. And just sitting there, and you eventually get a hole through it. And, so when you break something like that, you're going to get upset. I mean, once you're done with the first one, you start making the next one because you're going to break it eventually, But, yeah. So that was one of the things that really pushed my buttons, I guess.
Oh, neat. Well, I know, like in Rome, they've never been able to put a subway in because they can't go more than about 10 feet till they hit, a catacomb or something.
Yeah, it's everywhere there.
Everything gets shut down, and they have to do a big archaeology dig.
Yeah.
When I was in Princeton,
like
they were
giant
building a
monument.
library, and we found a cannonball from the Battle of Princeton.
Wow.
And no one told anybody because it would have shut down the library construction. So,
Yeah,
we
that
just
happens.
stuck it in the archive, and then when it was all done, they said, "Oh, by the way, we found this cannonball," and they put it in a display case.
Who did?
My
Did you
boss.
just out some...
Yeah,
So-
he's 85. He's living in Indiana now. Nobody cares. His
Yeah,
name is Bill Harris.
And so you just admitted to a federal crime. That's good times there, Ray.
Is there a statute of
it a
limitation
federal
on that?
That's kind of illegal, yeah. But
Oh,
whatever.
all right.
Anyway, so
That's
let's.
illegal?
Well, was there federal money being spent on the project?
I don't know. I doubt it was Princeton. They got all their own money, right?
Yeah, well, we'll pretend that didn't happen.
So, Ronnie, what is the strangest tool that you've used for cooking? Is there any?
There's always barbecue's so kind of backyard. I'm trying to think of something because I know I've used it.
Have you ever? Is there any smokers that people have to use, like bellows or blow into
No, we use
something
to stoke a fire. You'd use what do you call
Isn't
those
that what
things?
Those are bellows.
That's a
That's
bellow.
a bellow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've used that before, to stoke a fire.
If you
kinda,
have an
prime it.
intern at Grits, you could get one of those and say
Yeah,
that.
exactly. See how that one worked too. Work out just fine, I'm sure. I mean, we haven't gotten too crazy. I mean, that's really an interesting question.
Well,
But,
people are famous for making smokers out of everything, right? Like people
Yeah.
just love. You can go on the internet and find hundreds of different household items that have been converted into smokers.
Yeah,
It's
usually
a cottage industry.
the customary one is it's basically like a big old propane tank. I don't know, probably 300 or 400 gallons, I guess. Ours is our trailer smoker is probably about that size, and it's like a huge tank, and you weld it with doors, and you put some grates in it so you can lay down your meat, and you get a little firebox, and I mean basically you just make it out of whatever. If you see something metal that would be good for good combustion and stuff, that's a great way to do it.
Is there a
I'm gonna make mine in the
smokers
shape of a
convention?
bull.
Is
with
there
a whistle.
I'm sure there
community?
is. Barbecue, there's
Well
such
played,
a
sir.
huge
Maybe a pig instead of a bull.
following for barbecue. There's everyone has their own techniques, everyone has their own sauce, their style. There's Carolina, there's Kansas City, there's Texan style barbecue. So there really isn't one in Louisiana. There's
Have
no
you-
like defined style of barbecue in Louisiana.
Have you participated in Hogs for a Cause?
We did. Last year was our first one.
What'd you make?
You suffered a crushing defeat, apparently, or you'd be bragging about it by now.
We did, yeah. I'd be raving about it. It'd be the first thing I'd say on the show. But
Competition was fierce, though, I think.
it was. There was like 80 teams. Company Burger and Cowbell had one. There's like super teams like Patois and Boucherie and a couple other ones. I think they won.
3 out of those 4 places you named, we've had them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like they had some pretty serious teams, and it was like me and Phil and a bunch of friends, and we did okay. Like we could have done better, but it was our first time. Our best was like 13th in whole hog, and I thought it was
pretty good.
I thought it was damn good. I mean,
Yeah, should be proud of that.
next year we're gonna nail. Like we've figured out.
You've
some
already
stuff that we
started
needed to, like,
planning for
tweak.
next year?
Oh, day after we're working on it.
I hope you sent out spies to check out on all the other people
I
what
know.
they were doing.
Saboteurs.
Put on like a fake mustache, like, and just go in there and see what's up. But yeah, I mean, it's Hogs for the Cause. We raised a lot of money, so it was good. I think we raised like $4,000 or $5,000, which is like pretty decent for what we did, and it was fun. Did y'all make it out there?
I couldn't, unfortunately. I had another commitment, but
Yeah, I didn't make it this year, but last year I did. But I'm
It's
gonna
a
look
great
for
event.
you next year.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure. I mean, that's our wheelhouse. So I think we'll have a better showing next year. Figure out some ins and outs,
and it must be a bonding experience, don't y'all? Is it 2 days now? Like you
It's
you
you get
do
there
it overnight?
You get there Friday and set up, and you start cooking. Basically, like you check in all your meat, and they want to make sure that you haven't like tampered the meat, like brined it or injected it yet. So it's got to all be
Inspection.
raw.
it's like the Olympics. They got like there's like
Yeah, I mean,
there's, like
it's
cheating.
It gets pretty serious. There's like a buttload of judges, and like I think they'll have a
Who
table of
judges?
5.
It sounds like everybody in
they have,
the
like-
city that
They have a circuit of like judges. Like you'll be like you can
Ah.
get like verified as like a professional judge, and they'll bring them in, and then they'll have like celebrity judges, kind of like a food critic from New Orleans or whatever, and they'll do it too. So I mean, there's people that like, oh, this tastes great, but it's not necessarily like barbecue kind of, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And then like the judges will be looking more for like the traditional barbecue, like I guess like smoke and like texture and color, and like there's some things that they look for. So it's like pretty intense. I was in charge, like me and a friend of mine were in charge of handling all the judging. So like every time we had a plate, like you have to set down a plate of like lettuce and stuff and make it look all pretty in like the to-go box. And it's just like you don't know what the judges are gonna look at and how they're. So it's kind of interesting. It's a little intense, but it was fun. We had a good time.
excellent.
Now is Grit still having trouble from lately from zoning or something? Wasn't there a neighborhood issue that bubbled up all of a sudden? They've been there 100 years or something, right?
Yeah.
No, they've been there forever. There's like I think there's some like neighborhood. Kind of like some people in the neighborhood aren't like. It's not. I think there's just like a few people that are just kind
That's
of
what it always
making
is, yeah.
some noise. You know, they're like making a lot more noise than like the people that don't mind it. So I mean, I think it's an ongoing thing, usually with these like neighborhood bars, like parasols.
It's
like
the classic. You move next to the airport and complain about the
Right.
fact that
Right.
airplanes are flying over your house.
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
neighborhood bars are starting to get like somewhat like attacked by neighborhoods are starting to get nicer, and people are moving in and say, well, we're
Right.
moved in here, so you got to do something different. But you know, who was there first? So
Well, I just see a pattern. It's the ones that are on the fringes that aren't in the commercial areas that have been getting a lot more
Right.
trouble. If you go through the list of the ones that have been getting it lately, Mimi's and Maroney, so forth, it's all the ones that have like that. To me, those are the best kind of bars in New Orleans. Are the ones that
That's
are
what
nestled
makes-
in the neighborhoods. Yeah, I love
that's
it.
what like makes like New Orleans like
In New
you
Orleans,
know,
right? And and it seems like those one or two cranky neighbors everybody ignored. Now all of a sudden they're getting attention from a few of our politicians, and it's getting a little disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's not good.
But Grits isn't officially in any kind of big trouble, right?
I don't think
Nah,
so.
I mean it's an ongoing thing, but I don't think there's any like impending doom or anything. So it's
No.
We
I
don't
think
need to
it'll
start
be
the
fine.
Save Grits movement
No,
today or
I-
anything on this
I think
show.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
was-
glad
I
to
was-
hear.
to get off topic, which this is extremely off topic, but me and Dave were having a drink over there, and I was talking about the transition of facial hair that this guy's had since I first met him.
Yeah.
I just shaved off my mustache on Saturday due to charity, essentially.
Court order.
Yeah, well, my kickball league is renowned for raising money, and a friend of mine with a beard and me with my mustache challenged the league that if they raised $7,000 in 8 weeks, that we would shave off our mustache and beard, and we ended up with $9,500.
Wow.
So I had this nice, like, Raleigh fingers mustache, nice curls on
waxed that and everything?
Waxed it, yes. The good old mustache wax.
Kayla like it?
She loved it. In fact, I used the last bit of wax in the tube the day I shaved it off, so I guess in a way it kind of worked out.
It was fitting.
But, yeah, I do that, Fu Manchus, full beards.
Well, I've been with you twice where you've gotten your head shaved before, and if I may say, that's a little less of a sacrifice for you, probably.
True.
Than the mustache.
Yeah, I don't have that much hair, so.
I think you did another one a couple months ago, right?
You do it for
Baldrick's?
St. Baldrick's.
St. Baldrick's.
St. Baldrick's.
Which is actually why I couldn't make it to Hogs for the cause.
Oh, because you're doing your thing.
Yeah, that was the same day that I was shaving my head for St. Baldrick's.
Substituting one charity.
Let me tell you, that is gutsy, but I will never, ever, ever, ever shave my head willingly. If I'm not having brain surgery, I'm keeping my hair.
You have nice hair, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much longer I got it for, so I'm,
you got to keep it while you got it.
I'm riding that.
Yeah, what happens if somebody with beautiful hair, Elvis-esque hair like yourself, starts to lose it? What do you do?
Well, there's always wigs.
Yeah. True.
There's a hair club.
For men.
Yes.
I'm hoping they'll cure baldness before I get it. That's what I'm hoping.
Yes.
But,
I'm hoping. I'm struggling myself.
I don't know how much else going for me left, so just I want to keep my hair.
Gene therapy. Let's get it done.
Well, listen, I think we're out of time, unfortunately. I went by fast. Thank you so much for coming. We're gonna post Grits, and Blue Oak has a website as well, right?
Blue Oak, it's blueoaknola.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Blue Oak Nola, and also on Instagram. We've got pretty much whatever kind of social media I guess
and Facebook
offer. Facebook, all of them. Or Monday through Thursday from 6:30 to 11, and then Friday, Saturday open till 4.
All right.
So it's
I can't wait to come in and try
I'm dying
it.
for that smoked burger. I can't believe I ate there and didn't get the smoked burger. I've eaten like 2 or 3 times, and didn't.
Yeah, I mean, come try it. I think it's it's.
I was a little bleary-eyed. I couldn't read
so.
the menu. I don't know how I missed that. That seems like that would be in big font. I hope you got that in big font on the menu.
Oh, it's on there.
That.
You will not be disappointed.
Cool. Can't wait. You got something to plug? Anything?
No, not really.
Oh, and I did forget to mention, we do a lot of catering, too.
That's good to know.
It's a lot of pulled pork. It's mostly traditional stuff. We do, like, pulled pork and do some turkey and ribs and brisket.
Wings,
Brisket's
too.
kind of out of our wheelhouse, but we're getting better at it every day. So
do people call, or can we, email in an order?
The best way to get it is to go to blueoaknola.com/catering, and there's a little form, and we've got a menu. Check it out. We do parties as big as a couple thousand, and we do some for 10, 15 people. So it's we range, and barbecue is great for catering. So check us out.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Ronnie Evans, Blue Oak of Grits, and thank you, David Stitchier, archaeologist, cartologist, dart thrower, kickballer, Lions Club marcher, rolling Elvi, and declared officially one of the 5 most interesting people walking the earth today. We are going to have to wrap up now. Our show's recorded live each week at Ted's Frost Top on Claiborne and Calhoun in Uptown New Orleans. Ted is open 7 days a week, serving first-class burgers, beer, and their awesome homemade root beer in a frosty mug. Midnight Menu Plus One is produced by Grant Morris. Our technical director has been Chris Keogh. The fabulous audio quality we have today is not. No, wait. Oh, it is. Presented by PreSonus Audio. Oh, okay. All right, great. Chris Keogh is our technical director. The fabulous audio quality of the show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. PreSonus makes some of the best audio recording and live sound products, including Studio One music production software, Studio Live, digital mixing consoles, Aris Studio monitors, and all kinds of other stuff I don't know anything about, but sound really impressive. Visit presonus.com for more information. You can get in touch with us here at Midnight Menu Plus One by going to our website. That is itsneworleans.com, itsneworleans.com. From there you can follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, sign up for our mailing list. And listen, while you're at itsneworleans.com, you can listen to other episodes of Midnight Menu Plus One, as well as our other shows, Happy Hour, Mindset, True to the Game, Win-Win, and Out to Lunch. And if you're listening to the show right now on iTunes, thank you for subscribing, and maybe you could just take a minute to rate us and review us. That helps other people find us. Midnight Menu Plus One is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Until we meet again here at Ted's Frost Top, I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss.
Good night.
You know Labor Day signals the unofficial end of summer, but not the end of your outdoor projects. Lowe's helps you do it right and helps you save with Labor Day deals throughout the store. Shop now and get 2 bags of Stay Green potty mix for $12. And keep your lawn looking neat and trim with a Craftsman 2-cycle 17-inch gas string trimmer, now $20 off at just $119. Whatever's still on your to-do list this Labor Day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 8/28. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. U.S. only.